don't doubt the fact that you called me for this. But it's been 15 years. Why am I still here? Why did I miss out on the promotion? Where were you, God, when they were promoting someone who was less qualified than me and they overlooked me? Where were you, God, when I was marginalized because of the color of my skin? When I earned less than because of the color of my skin? Where were you, God? I will have you remember the story of the Shunammite woman. That the woman who served God in spite of her barrenness. As a matter of fact, I know that she had already made peace with her barrenness. But see, when we tell that story, we end it when the Son is resurrected. But I've come to tell you that when I was reading this Bible, I found out that there is more to the story. That was not the end of the story. See, in verse 8, 2 Kings chapter 4, in verse 6, the woman serves God faithfully, serves his servants, gives selflessly, and asks for nothing in return. And God yet blesses her with a child. But the child dies. The child is restored back to life. And that's where we end the story. But there is more to the story. I've come to tell you that this is not the end of the story for you. There is still more to the story. Lift me up, Lord. Lift up my perspective so that I can see. Open up the eyes of my spirit so that I can see that those who are for me are more than those who are against me. Open up the eyes of my spirit so that I know that when I'm standing with you, we are the majority. Open up my eyes to see that whoever overlooks me because of the color of my skin is fighting God himself. Because God said he made me in his image. He made me in his likeness. And he poured his spirit in me. And so he's not just fighting me, but he's fighting God. This battle is yours. And I know that in due season, I will reap if I stay faithful. The Shunammite woman, the prophet Isaiah in chapter 8, he says, there's going to be a famine for 7 years. So take your family and leave. Truly, the Shunammite woman takes her family and he leaves. He goes to the land of the Palestinians, stays there for 7 years. After 7 years, the famine was over. She came back. And when she comes back, she wants to claim back her property and her land. While she was on her way, Gehazi, the servant of the man of God, is busy telling the king about the things that Prophet Elijah did in the days back. And as Gehazi is speaking, he's telling the king, the prophet resurrected a boy from death. And as he's telling the king, the Shunammite woman and the boy come in. It's in the Bible. There's more to the story. As Gehazi is talking, the woman comes in. And Gehazi says, this is the boy who was resurrected back to life. And the woman confirms it. The woman puts a plea to the king and says to the king, I need my land and I need my property. The king appoints an officer specifically for this woman. Specifically for her to restore everything back to her. Everything she owned. And not just that. He says, every profit that was made from her land for all the 7 years must be given to her. See, when somebody walks in during that season of your life, or if you walk in somebody's season, and you're thinking, she just came here. How come she gets to have all of that? You don't know the whole story. There is more to it than this. There was a time when there was barrenness in her womb. And yet she stayed faithful and served God. Years and years, and the Bible says, and her husband was old. Years and years and years of barrenness. And the Lord not only performed a miracle, He did it again. He did it again. See, so when you look at someone and you walk into a season in their lives, it is a good idea to not compare yourself with them, because you don't know what they have gone through to get to where they are. And if you are the one who is still in the process, please remember that God doesn't just allow some things to happen. Sometimes He will take you through the school of life. And that school of life, no one can take an exam for you. You have to sit for it. You have to sit in class for that one, because it's you.